Performance causes us to dig deep into our empowerment to stay the process until results are delivered. Staying ahead of competition, however, is a factor of consistently working God's plan for our lives. Welcome to our Dominion series of a word and prayers. My name is Better Prayson, called the lead pastor of Pearl House Ministry, Lagos, Nigeria. This May Day conversation is about being intentionally raised to rule. To rule creates an awareness of responsibility to make a difference. To rule also propels us to lead in times of distress and to continue doing so in times of plenty. Our conversation today, is going to be coming from the scripture Psalms 110 and verse 2, and I'm reading the King James Version. Now, the Lord sends the rod of your strength out of Zion. Rule you in the midst of your enemies. From the scripture, we realize that there is a sending and there is also a responsibility to rule. And like we said earlier on, to rule creates an awareness of responsibility. So there are certain areas I will need us to be conscious of even as we go about that assignment that God has given us. Now, here are some of those areas we need to look at. Number one, we need to be conscious of our royalty and the anointing to serve. We are royalty and we have been anointed to serve. This is not about an election. Please be conscious of that. This is not about an election. What that means is that this responsibility is given to you to help others even when there is no personal gain. Secondly, we are to be aware that we are at a war to liberate others from the bondage that the enemy has put them into. No matter the bondage. If you go around town, you find out that there are certain people who should have been better than they are, but right now they are shooting drugs, many of them selling themselves. It's our responsibility to take care of them, not to avoid them. Thirdly, we also need to be conscious of the fact that we are to lead these people to fulfill purpose. So in other words, we need to help them first find purpose and then to fulfill purpose. As a father, you have been given the responsibility to lead your household, your wife, your children, to first find purpose for which they are to live and also to lead them. That brings us to the place where we need to understand that there must be a conscious investment in the lives of those that God has given unto us. There must be a spiritual investment, so we need to be sure about what we are doing and what we are serving them from the table of the Lord. There must be an emotional investment. So as parents, as leaders, we don't need to cut or run out. We need to be available so that just by a word, even if it's a positive word of affirmation, it will cause us to raise other people to a place of strength where they can fulfill their purpose. We need to also realize that there is an investment, a financial investment that we need to do. There's no need for you to run away when your children need school fees or one or two people around you. Just needs a little more so that they can pursue whatever they desire. We need to invest in other people. And finally, also, we need to understand that there is that place of relationship investment. Relationship investment. If there was nothing like that in God, there was no way he would have been able to say to us, I'm adopting you to be my own sons. He would have dealt with us like any other creation. But God was conscious of relationship. And so he invested in us by adopting us. Child of God, it is time for us to be conscious of the fact that we have been raised to rule. God will anoint you. God will continually strengthen you. God will cause you to be aware of what you carry so that you do not miss your season, this season. Praise the name of the Lord. I want to leave you with these scriptures, and that is Romans chapter 11 and verse 26. The second is Psalms chapter 20 and verse 2. And finally, we have Micah chapter 7 and verse 14. Praise the name of the Lord. Thank you so very much for watching, and God bless you.